So getting into game number 1 here, spawning in the lower right hand corner, playing for Capital One, their team captain with the red probes is Project. And in the upper left hand corner, playing with the orange drones for Amazon, is Jolin. So the first game here of a best of 5 series. For those who don't know about the corporate esports, so it's a running league that's operated through a Swiss bracket method, with teams getting matched up with other teams who have a similar win rate by matches, just to try and keep a level playing field between the teams that are playing together. So you see Capital One here and Amazon Painforest. I believe both lost 2 and won 1 series up until this point, and we'll see what happens here. So Probe coming out onto the map now for Project, following that gateway. Nothing out of the ordinary here. We do see pull first from Jolin, but it's going to go into that normal expand. So again, nothing too strange on either side of the map here. We do see that Probe coming down now. Looks like it's going to take the natural uncontested, and should be following that up very shortly with the Cybercore as well. Fantastic. So nothing too odd. The Protoss player does see that early pull. I'll just get himself out there with a few minerals as well, and first few Zerglings here morphing in now, as Project does manage to get that probe away without any issue at all. So the Cybernetic score is on the way here. Metabolic boost is coming out for Jolin now as well, and he has pulled all of the drones out of the gas here, so it looks like we are going to see some pretty heavy aggression here from Jolin. All of these lava now being sent, although we do have a drone actually coming out there at the moment, and an Overlord, and a Adept coming out on the other side of the map here. Nice wall off with that Zealot closing the gap. Gateway research on the way. Only a single gate here now from Project, and again we do see a few more drones coming out for Jolin. So I'm going to say he has put off the gas, so it doesn't look like he's going to transition into any kind of roach tech or lair or anything like that. It looks like he is fully committed to just smashing out these lings across the map in the early stage. The first few lings do get across here now. Do manage to pull that Zealot off the line, but unfortunately not getting too much done. Do manage to get the Adept out here on the map just for a brief little while, but Adept there does manage to get away. Third hatch now down for Jolin. Still no gas coming out of here now from our Zerg player. Lings do manage to get into that natural mineral line there, just pick up a couple of probes, and that Adept once again just getting surrounded by the Lings before briefly getting away. So Stargate here on the way now for our Protoss player, and actually that just finishing up there. It looks like, yep, we are going to have an Oracle here on the map for some early harass. Adept coming out there just picking up one ling. Again, nothing too extraordinary here. We do see the Stalker there just turning away that Overlord Scout, and I do believe, yeah, so Jolin hasn't seen the gateway there, so the Stargate there, so he doesn't know that that Oracle is on the way. But then equally across the other side of the map here, Jolin has now actually started mining gas once again off of that extractor in the main there, and just continuing to macro up here on this side of the map. Roach 1 does go down now, and an evolution chamber there as well. So maybe a +1 timing attack here with some roaches out of Jolin. Lair is on the way as well. Do see that third expansion now going down for Project. And, a couple of oracles here are now going to make their way out onto the map. Just a little small hit force here moving out for Jolin as well. Spores are coming out here in the mineral lines for Jolin, so I assume he must have seen the Stargate with the Ling there. Yes, he did. Okay. So Oracle's now going to come up into the third base. Spores are already down, and the Queen's obviously there at each of these bases as well. So Oracles will move in, will manage to pick up that Queen, not too much problem at all, and just going to move into range now of that Spore Claw as the Lings come in now to try and pick off these ground units. Just actually really clever here, little movement, just trying to micro those Lings to pull the ground units for the Protoss actually under the Spore Crawler there, so that the Oracles don't get any free hits on the Lings, and they can just freely engage the ground units there for Protoss. So we do see that +1 range attack on the way here now. Hydra Ascend has come out as well for Jolin. Across the other side of the map we do see that Robo Bay there, and Charge coming out of the Twilight Council as well. Just a little defensive wall there just to hold off against any Ling kind of pressure, which actually we will see moving out across now from Jolin. Yeah, quite a few Lings here. So that's what, about 20 Lings thereabouts. We'll find the third base here and just start picking away at these units, and actually getting into the middle line there, pulling off those probes. Not quite pulled off as quick as you'd like, and not actually sure how many got down there. Unfortunately, the host did not use WCS mod. I'd say there's probably, yeah, looks like 8 probes from there. We did see a couple of others, so probably around 6 probes, 7 probes. Getting a few more here now. It's going to start to engage this main unit as well, as the Roach is now coming across the map for backup. Phoenix has got the pick up there on one of those Roaches. And Jolin just going to pull back now as the reinforcements continue to stream across the map. So pretty even here between these two players at the moment. Jolin obviously managed to get a lot more economic damage done there. The Void Trap does manage to pick up a few of those Lings, just trapping out those Roaches, and actually Roaches getting stuck here now, as the Immortal just picks these away as they are helpless between these trapped Lings and the Force Field. The rest of this army does pull back once again to regroup. Hydrodiscs now coming out to the map, and Grew Spine's actually on the way here for Jolin. Do see that force coming down now, although Jolin of course does have the +1 advantage here with these units, and with these Hydras now moving out as well. We'll start to see some higher damage on these Protoss units. As you see the Lings pushing forward to the Zets there, again just pulling back. Counter attack is moving out across the map now for Project. I don't know if, I can't imagine Jolin has seen this. I don't believe there are any overlords out on this side of the map. So if he knew that was coming, that was a terrific read. Did pull the army back there to zone that away, and actually Project changed his mind and putting the army back. So it looks like Jolin is going to move out. Sorry, looks like Project was about to move out there once again. Seems to just be collecting up his units there ready to go. Okay, so actually just defending that fourth, going down. +2 attack on the way now for Jolin, and actually Project only just now starting on that +1. Cannons coming out here now from Project just to help defend off this fourth. And a couple of Lings are going to come down and check the expansions. Jolin does now confirm that the fourth has indeed gone down. Project going for Storm Tech here now out of the Templar Archives that we saw go down there just a little while ago. And yeah, Jolin just continuing to push forward with this Hydraling based composition here. Again, going for that +2 upgrade is going to be a big heavy focus now on those Hydralisks. Lurker then does come down here now as well, and the Infestation Pit. So we could be seeing transition into Hive Tech here very shortly as we approach the 10-minute mark. Project does move out with his army here, and Jolin does pick up on that with those advanced lings. Zealots are managed to get in amongst the Hydras here. Not many lings to hold those off at the moment. Does manage to finish those off, however, did lose a few Hydras there as he continues to pick away at this army. And she does look like he's going to clean this up very nicely. Jolin immediately going to continue to move across the map here now with these Hydralisks. There are these cannons here to help defend this, and that should hold off. Should manage to clean this up without too much problem at all. Although it looks like Jolin is continuing to push forward. Archons are out here now as well. And, nice little bit of kiting here from Jolin just to keep these Hydras coming out of the range of those Archons, although just stop there to turn around, and I think with a bit more micro there, he probably could have kept alive a few of those Hydras, but it does manage to clean up the Archons there and push back towards this 4th base. Big warping coming in now with these charge lots for Project, and again just kiting back with those Hydras, keeping the roaches in the front to tank charges of the Zealots there. And again, just a nice little bit of step-to-step micro there with the Hydralisks to try and keep them off the front line of reserve. More reinforcements are coming in here across the map with Jolin. We do see 50 supply lead here for Jolin as he really goes to town on this 4th base. Does look like he's going to manage to pick off that last cannon there as he now turns his focuses onto the main nexus of the 4th. Ling's just chasing those probes away. First lot of lurkers now are going to morph in here as well. And I don't think Jolin saw the Oracle there, but it looks like he is going to manage to... Okay, so he does trigger the void trap there. Lurkers are going to burrow down now and start to really go to town on this Protoss army here. Is there an observer? How is he seeing these? Okay, yeah, there is an observer here. So those lurkers will get picked off relatively easy in the initial engagement there. But again, Jolin with this massive supply lead and the economical advantage here now as well. GG does get called from Project. So game 1 there going over to Amazon Painforest. Excellent. I think as you can see there, just the difference there between I think Platinum was Project and Diamond, Jolin. Just the difference in the kind of mechanical play and how that played out into that kind of little advantages as you go along, which eventually won the game there for him. Anyway, we are going to move on to game number 2 here now. It's going to be between Tejo and Pokken. Okay, thought my computer had crashed for a moment there. So again, another Diamond versus Platinum game here. Of course, never ever rule out a player purely based on his league. You know, there's not a lot of difference between Plat 1 and Diamond 3, that's for sure. I can attest to that from my time on the ladder. But anyway, to get things underway here now, spawning in the lower right hand corner, playing with the orange probes for Amazon, it's Tejo. And in the upper left hand corner, playing with the purple SCVs, representing CapitalOneA, it's Bakari. So looking like a fairly standard opening here. That wall is going to go up to help fend off any kind of earlier depth pressure there, like you would usually see in a PvT. Workers there just going to have a little wave as they cross each other's paths to go and scout out what their opponents are up to. Nothing too out of the ordinary here at the moment. supply depot just getting started up there. Nice little move actually from Bakari just to place that supply depot and pull the SCV until the barracks is finished, just to keep that probe out in case he wanted to go for any weird shenanigans. This obviously stopped Taiho seeing what the situation is with gases and whatnot in there, which obviously can be a bit of a tell as to what's going on. Attempt to block there by Bakari, but Taiho does manage to get that natural down with relative ease. And, again, nothing too strange here from the outset. First Reaper is on the way here now for Bakari. Just close up that wall as you would expect. And yeah, everything pretty standard here on both sides of the map. Nothing really to balk at in terms of any aggression so far. Double barracks coming down here now, so it doesn't look like we're going to see any sort of 1-1-1 aggression or any quick cloak banshees or anything like that. This probe, interesting enough, just seems to be chillaxing out here. Looks like it's going to get picked up by that Reaper for free. Okay, so nothing too weird here. Double barracks, one factory coming down here, gateway on the other side of the map, and a robo in the back there. Possibly Taiho here gonna try and tech up to Colossus to counter any sort of bio play from Bakari, and of course Immortals as well. Potentially with a warp prism there to deal with any sort of in-place siege tanks, if that's what he chooses to do. So the Reaper here just going to be chilling out on the third there. Looks like there's quite a lot going on at home. Starport coming down here now for Bakari. We do see that second command centre coming up on the high ground. Not electing to go too greedy and build it straight onto the low ground there, but he will just fly that down in a moment. TechLab seems to be researching, but no, it's not. Okay, so we do see Stim on the way here now for Bakari, and yeah, looks like we're going to see some quick play out of this starport here. It's just going to be double medivac, single medivac there for the moment. Engineering bay going down to the back. So it looks like we are going to be going for this bio play, and as I say, perhaps Taiho will elect to move up towards Colossus to help counter that. But we do see the Immortal coming out here now initially from that robo bay. Again, the other side of the map, just that medivac on the way from that reacted starport, and a few Marines just going to try and move out and deal with these initial little bit of pressure from the Stalkers there. Don't know what happened to the Reaper. Did I miss the Reaper? Did the Reaper die? Okay, it looks like the Reaper got picked up by the Stalkers. So Stimbat halfway done. Cyclones on the way out here now for Taiho. Sorry, for Bakari. And Marauders on the way. So, I mean, these are blind Cyclones where he's not seen anything to kind of suggest that he might be up against any sort of Stargate play. But maybe he's just been caught out by oracles and such things in the past, and he wants that kind of extra little bit of defense. Double Forge going down here now for Taiho. So looks like we're going to have some quick upgrades here from Taiho. The engineering bay has finished on the other side of the map for Bakari, but no upgrades have started on that just yet. What's this? Nothing going on in there at the moment. Stim is just about to finish up here now, and that observer there, very nicely placed by Taiho, I believe, just managing to keep an eye on that army to see when that will indeed go to move out. Double Immortals here now are going to move out across the map. Charge on the way here for Taiho now. A Warp Prism come out there as well as that third Nexus goes down in the vertical position. No further expansion here from Picari as of yet. Although we do see a couple of barracks being added on here now, so really going to pump up that bio style of play now. Scan does go down there. I don't know where it went. Nothing on the mini map. Oh, okay, so it's into the main. So he does see that double forge coming out there. He does see the robo producing, although he's not sure what that would be at the moment. Potentially he could assume that is a couple more or another immortal coming out there. And actually still finished now. These Marines do push back the Protoss armor here, and actually managed to pick up both of those immortals there just with a handful of Marines and a couple of Cyclones. Actually, I think Taiho's in really big trouble here. Picari, not elected to go for the third, has chosen to actually just move into a push now, and Taiho having been quite greedy with that with his own third. It doesn't look like he's going to get caught out here now. There's not an awful lot to defend here on his side of the map. A couple more immortals are being rushed out now, but again, only 2 gateways here for Taiho as well, so you know, really difficult for him to even walk in any kind of defense against these units. And these Terran are just going to go to town on this natural here. I don't even know if Picari knows about the third yet, or if he's just gone straight for the natural. Taiho is going to try and push back down that ramp and try and just clean up whatever's left here with Picari, and actually does manage to push Picari back, at least temporarily, although I think Picari is going to turn around and push back in with these again, and going to get the free pickup there on that immortal. That warp prism, nowhere to be seen. I believe it got destroyed. But yeah, it did get destroyed. Again, just going to push that middle line, shut that down there. Taiho again struggling to hold off this aggression here from Picari. And Picari just continued to build units home. Still no indication of any sort of intent to expand. It looks like he is fully committed here to just kind of putting this to bed. +1 armor is on the way here as well, and Taiho does finally manage to hold off with them just getting out with a Marine and a Marauder there. So Taiho has started +2 attack and +2 armor now. Obviously now that he's falling behind, he wants to get that at least that tech advantage now to try and recover this game. Picari finally electing to go for an additional command center down on third. So we are going to start to progress now into this late game kind of play style between these two players. Storm on the way here now for Taiho as well. We do see those concussive shells coming out for our Terran player. Again, still very focused on this kind of bio-based army, although we do see a fair few of these Vikings coming out here now for Picari as well. Presumably just to counter any sort of, I mean, again, Colossus play perhaps, although no indication from what Picari has scouted so far that Taiho would be going for that kind of play. Not sure if Taiho did actually catch this army moving out onto the map here. They are going to go head down onto that third, and Picari must be wondering now, if there's no third there, surely he expects that he's taken the vertical third on the right hand side. It looks like yeah, he is going to go check on that now, and the scan goes down and he does confirm that there is indeed a third base there. These immortals are going to get picked up once again by this bio-immortal, of course. Not very good against those Zerg infantry units, and will clean up this mineral line and knock down this third nexus now as well. So we do see some high Templar out on the map here. They do have the upgrade there off of the Templar Archives to support as well, and a couple of good storms here will help to just deal with some of this Terran army very nicely. You can quite a bit of that bio there. Although quite a few of those storms just overlapping, so some wasted energy, and that does mean the Terran will manage to pick those up now, as all that energy is gone. nothing to really hold that up. Archon goes down super quickly then. Again, just a few zealots are going to walk in to try and push back this aggression and really hold on to this game. Pro's being pulled off the line now to try and deal with these units, but those medivacs, tons of energy, are just going to be able to hold this up all day long. A couple more high Templar do come out here now, and one of them gets picked off before any storms can be dropped. There with sorry, sneeze there. And unfortunately, if the last of those units do go down there, GG is called, and Bakari takes the 1-all tie. Righty ho. Okay, so moving on now into game number 3. See what I mean? You know, platinum versus diamond, but that gap isn't as big as you might imagine. The platinum player did manage to beat out the diamond player. Okie dokie. Right, so moving on to game number 3 now on New Repugnancy here. As you can see, both diamond players. Unfortunately, you can't see exactly where within the diamond rank these two players fall, but we will get things started here now and see what we can see. So, spawning in the lower left-hand corner, playing with the blue probes this time for Amazon Painforest. It is NaCl, or Salt. And spawning in the upper right-hand corner, playing with the red drones for CapitalOneA, it's Bumblebee. I know, I've heard that this map was very interesting, and straight away we do see that forge going down there for our Zo player, and I don't think, sorry, for the Protoss player, and I don't think he saw that initial probe. However, he does see it now as that drone. Weirdly, the drone moving out onto the map here, and a few more drones will get pulled off. Just to try and deal with a couple of pylons. Nice little wall in there by Assault here on New Repugnancy. First pylon does finish up. The forge has finished, so we should expect indeed a cannon to go down here in just a moment. And not sure where that drone was going. Is he still just going to scout around? Okay. So gateway going down here now for NaCl as well. Interesting to note, which I didn't mention at the start of this game, so Amazon Painforest did actually suffer a unit ban due to an error in their lineup submission, which they then had to correct by resubmitting after the lineups were confirmed. So they did incur a unit ban here, and the CapitalOneA captain did elect to ban Immortals on this very map between NaCl and Bumblebee, which makes it feel quite interesting, because generally, particularly lately on the in tournaments and such, these kind of cannon rushes are usually followed by some sort of proxy Immortal play, and obviously that will not be a thing here, as Immortals are indeed banned. Cybercore does come down, and that looks like a full wall off there, so NaCl going to shut himself out from his natural base and commit to a one-base play. Second hatch does come out here for Bumblebee. A few lings on the way here now, and yeah, kind of oddly stabilised a little bit here. I didn't see that gas steel go down. Here you go. Extra front cannon is going to be placed out here now to try and cut off that flow of reinforcements moving out across the map from the main. However, a few lings have made it out onto the map, and they are just going to try and poke up, initially see if there's any natural, which they see there is not, and then just going to see if they can try and get any damage done in the main, but immediately turned away by that photon cannon there behind the full wall off. So what are we going for him now, so nothing really coming off the back of the cybercore here now for Salt. Just a single stalker on the way. As we approach 150 mils here, we should see in a moment what he does intend to go for to follow on from this play. Okay, so still banking out the minerals here. Is he going to go for an expansion somewhere? Another shield battery goes down. Again, just banking up these minerals. Another stalker on the way here now. Just continuing to add on a probe. Again, no transition here as of yet from our Protoss player. Again, banking up those minerals, he must have some sort of trick up his sleeve. You know, he's walled off the front there. He can't be planning to go for any sort of long game. Roach Warren has come out here for Bumblebee, and now we do see that Stargate on the way here for for Salt. So Stargate coming out here now. He's going to knock out one of his own pylons there just to free that probe. A couple more shield batteries going down, offensive shield batteries in the front there. And Assault just going to try and poke into that natural base there. Actually, this is going to pick up the Queen here with those two stalkers. It's very nicely done. A couple of Zergans come down to try and rally. Well, seem to have been move commanded there or rallied straight from. No, looks like it was a move command. We'll manage to get the spine crawler there as well. Oh, very nearly. But again, those Zergans just running straight by and not getting the surround on those stalkers. Void Ray on the way out here now for Salt. He does elect to use that Chronovis there, and a second Stargate coming up behind this now as well. So definitely full commitment to this one base all in here with these proxy Void Rays coming in behind this cannon rush. And let's see what Salt can do here now, approaching the 6-minute mark. Fortunately, these Spine Crawler and these Lings are not going to do much at all help against a Void Ray. And Void Ray is going to just come in here, and a couple of Queens are going to come out to defend against this. That Void Ray is just going to get pulled back to recharge those shields there. Salt actually expanding more towards the natural now with a few more of these shield batteries to help with this aggression. And another Void Ray about to come here almost immediately, in a second one on the third one on the way here now out of this second Stargate as well. And this Bumblebee coming forward once again with those Lings, just going to try and get the surround on those stalkers, but unfortunately NACL even without blink here just microing those back to keep those away. Void Rays are going to pick up this Queen here, and they will now be able to attack completely uncontested here into the natural, picking up the Spine Crawler there. At least until that Spore Crawler does go up. Midas one coming down here for Bumblebee across the map. I had not seen that Nidus start on the top side there. Just a handful of roaches are going to pop out of this here now. Void Rays again just going to carry on pumping into this natural. Do manage to catch a nice overlord there. And that hatchery not quite going to go down as the recall is made to deal with these roaches. And unfortunately 5 roaches are not going to do a great deal against a handful of Stalkers and Void Rays here. The Nidus will get picked up now as well, and that will end that aggression there from our Zerg player. So Salt now going to move these units back out across the map. We'll manage to pick up that Ling there as well, which is just camping on the third. And well, what can Bumblebee do from here now? Just a couple more spores going down. Another 2 Void Rays have popped out on the other side of the map though, and already going to town on the natural here. We'll get that Queen once again. will it go for the spore crawler here before it completes? Okay, so the rest of the void rays now arriving to support. We'll get that spore crawler there, and GG is called from Bumblebee. Well, there we go. Salt taking the 2-1 lead there with a very interesting play. Just a zoning cannon rush there to stop the natural, transitioning into some double proxy Stargate with some void rays to finish off our opponent there. Excellent. Okay, so moving into game number 4 now. Spoiler alert. So anyone paying attention will notice that this match series does go on for 5 games. So fortunately, the result of this one may be a little bit obvious, but we'll watch it through anyway. 2 Masters players here, initially spawning in the left-hand side, playing with the red simulant drones for CapitalOneA. It's Juno. And in the right hand middle side here on Automaton LE, playing with the orange SCVs for Amazon, it's Kevin. So it's weird, that looks like a Broodlord from a certain angle. How strange. Pull first here from our Zerg player. Does use that little extractor trick there to get the extra drone. Nothing too strange here just yet. SCV is going to move out across the map to get a scout off. Drone heading out the other way here now for Juno. Just going to pop in to check that there's no super aggressive play here from Kevin, who does appear to be banking up, ready for... okay, well that's different. So that initial drone that I assumed was a scout there actually is going to drop a proxy hatch right outside Kevin's natural base there, and Kevin not going to get any sight of this at all, at least until this Reaper comes out, and unfortunately that hatch is going to be well on the way to being completed there before that gets scouted. Interesting play here from Juno, something very different to what we've seen so far in this series from the Zerg players that we've watched. And immediately Kevin does see that hatchery now, and what is he going to do? Well, drops the factory there. Does he manage to close that wall off the time? No, not quite. The Lings do manage to get into the main base there before that wall does go up. One Ling just going to poke into the mineral line there before trying to pick off the one building the factory. Although nice little pull off with the SUVs from that mineral line, just managed to clean that up. And actually managed to save in the Reaper then with less than 5 HP at least. So, drone going to come out here. Soon it's going to turn into a spine crawler. There we go. And okay, well, this is going to get a little bit difficult for Kevin here. That spine crawler going to be very pivotal in defending that proxy hatchery on the just outside the natural there. That Reaper fully healed up now, as we know Reapers do replenish over time. And nice little move from Juno here. Looks like he's going to just send the creep up the ramp so you can get some vision on that high ground, and then start to kind of pick off at this front wall with the spine crawler there. And that Overlord coming in as well, just to give vision off the high ground as well. And she's going to start going to work on the front of this wall here. Another creep chimney going down just to hold on to that vision after the creep is pulled as well. And, there we go. So Kevin completely locked out from his natural now, without a big push. Do you see a siege tank on the way and a Viking here as well? Juno, no particular tech on his side of the map so far, just that spawning pool there. And let's go with a couple of extra gases on this side as well. And just see what tech he does decide to go for here. Behind this third hatchery. Fourth hatchery, starting on the lower left side, of course, not including that proxy. And Sea Snake there very nicely, just managing to push away that spine crawler, though unfortunately all of this creep now is going to block this natural to prevent Kevin expanding out of his main base now. Meanwhile, across the other side of the map, Juno taking his third hatchery, so there's going to be a huge economic lead here for our Zerg player. Lair on the way now as well, and I don't know what Kevin can do here. Is that or SCV? So just going to fully oversaturate that middle line there. Sea Stanton is just going to work on these units on the low ground. Very nice done there actually, the Viking just giving vision of the Sea Stank. The Sea Stank of course can shoot further than it can actually see on its own, so using the Viking there just to get that extra little bit of range and not get picked up by the spore. He's going to start to pick away at that hatchery there now, and a third command center on the way here for Kevin. Looks like he's going to try and move out and double expand to try and recover this economy deficit here. Double Evo chamber is out for Juno, and you know, I hadn't even seen that fusion core before. Bloody hell! Okay, so this is something new here now from our Terran player as well. Fusion core is down. Yamato cannon on the way, and a battle cruiser coming out here off of that starport as well. I do see the Hydrogen coming out on the other side of the map, +1/+1 with the ranged there as well. So let's see how much Kevin can get done with this battle cruiser that's going to be coming out of here in just a moment. Okay, so wow, does teleport straight across the map into the main base here of the Zerg. Spore Crawler there already waiting, which does force that battle cruiser to pull out, at least for the moment, while he waits for the teleport there to recharge. Groove Spines on the way here with all these Hydrodiscs now as well. Yamato Cannon about 2/3 of the way done there, so not too much longer on that now. It's going to actually just go out and start hunting down a few of these overlords out on the map. The Queen moving down there to just save that one on about 30 health. Viking on the other side will get this overlord over here instead. And another battle cruiser on the way for Kevin. Just trying to clear out that creep spread so he can finally take the natural base here. A few Hydras out on the map now. Oh, they do manage to pick up that one battle cruiser that was out there. And these Hydras now going to move out across the map. Stim on the way here now with a few Marines as well. Medusa, that +1/+1, just about to finish up here now as the Hydras come onto their creep. It's proxy on the other side of the map, and this is going to be very difficult for Kevin to hold, really. You know, Juno's been on a 3-base economy for a little while now, +2 on the way, and Hydras speed as well. A few more Hydras coming out across our Zerg side of the map. So looks like they're going to pick up this Sea Snake for basically free. It's going to pull the command center there as well. The Yamato Cannon coming down, just picking up one of those Hydras there for teleporting away to the third, where there is of course already a Spore Crawler waiting. She's just going to try and thin out some of these Hydrodiscs here on the low ground. We're hanging around another creep tumor coming out here. Where did that come from? Cleaned up all the creep. Regardless, a lot of units moving out here now. A lot of fast overlords rushing across the map. Really, will these miss rally? Did he do this on purpose? These aren't droplets. Eh? That was weird. I'm not quite sure what that was all about. Maybe it was just to try and displace the Marine, distract the attention of Kevin here. 4th base, 5th base. 2 more hatcheries going down here now for Juno. Super greedy expansions here, but I suppose knowing that Kevin is still locked in on 1 base, despite having these 3 command centres, Zerg really can just go to town and do whatever they like. Swarm hosts now coming out here now from the Zerg player as well. And I don't know what Kevin can do here to hold this off. No more battle cruisers on the way out here for our Terran player. He's going to have to land that command center and get that prepared if he doesn't want to lose that there. This Overlord, look, just dropping creep. I see, okay. So these fast Overlords actually, once again, just trying to spread creep across all of these possible expansions here for Kevin to prevent any chance of him coming off of that 1 base economy. And, because of that, Juno here with a 100-point lead, +2 attack transfer to that, +2 armor, nearly on the way here now, and Kevin not even with his own +1/+1. I think Kevin realises now there's no way he's going to be able to recover from that economy deficit, and does elect to go for the GG. Really, I mean, I want to say nasty play there from Juno, really, but very, very cleverly done to just shut down that economy completely for the Terran player there, making it absolutely impossible for him to expand and have any chance of holding his own in that game, as the Zerg just continued to push out more and more hatcheries and more economy. Anyway, so we are tied up now 2 for 2. We are going to move into the ace here now. Once again, we're going to see that Zerg player that we just saw, Juno, and NACL here going to be the ace for Amazon. Immortals back in play here now for Salt. So we'll see if he elects to go for any kind of immortal play now that he has those available to him once again. But anyway, let's get things underway here. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner, the hope of CapitalOneA. The Zerg drones from that last map there. It's Juno. And once again in the lower right-hand corner, playing with those blue probes. For Amazon Painforest, it's Salt. Or NACL. We just call him Salt. So, we're going to see another cannon rush here. First probe is moving out nice and early. There we go. We do see that forge going down once again here now for NACL. And will Juno be ready for this? We do see a drone moving out here. So, looks like both players are going to go for a similar kind of trick to what they did in last game. This drone probably going to become a hatchery on the other side here once again to try and block the expansions. Just look like it's just being rallied around. And we'll drop it straight into the natural, I guess. Pylon finishes up. Cannon's going to go down here on the low ground. And no, okay, so swimming pool's there. A few leaders are going to come out here now as well. Hatch actually going to go down in the main base here of NACL, and NACL did see the drone go in there. We'll move out to scout and confirm that there is indeed a hatchery, and we'll put down that pylon to get some cannons up there to try and close that down before it causes too much problem. Gateway here on the other side of the map. These cannons just try and hold off these lings. Unfortunately, the probe does get picked up there, so we expect to see a second one pulled off straight away. Gas out now, cannon going down for this proxy hatch, and a couple of cannons here should manage to clean this up before it causes too much problem in the main here for Juno. Roach Warren coming down now across the other side of the map, and no natural expansion here as of yet for Juno on his side. Probes to get pulled as well now, just to help deal with this hatchery before that creep starts to spread in, or too many of those larvae start to pop out. And hatchery will go down. Brilliant's come off the line. The cannons should be able to hold on to that. Too much problem, not causing too much damage. And just a couple of lings is going to pop out here in a moment. They will get dealt with pretty quickly by these cannons. So full wall off here with the cyber core going down in the wall. Cannon is going to go down in front of this gateway here. It's probably the other side of the map. We do finally see the second hatch down now here for Juno as well. And second gas going to come out here from the Zero player as well. Queen. Will he finish the... They are actually going to manage to pick up that cannon, but Vinicius does get the cancel off on it there. And, another one immediately under the way. Det does manage to pop out just to push away those lings. And, I don't know if it's been enough. No, I think he's going to have to cancel that cannon once again. He does manage to kill it with no cancel, so there's minerals there lost for our Protest player. And a couple of queens now on the map are going to start to go to town on this gateway, and I think that is going to be the end of that proxy there for our player. Unfortunately, Pylon is going to go down just to keep this cannon powered up on top. So Stalker out here now is just going to keep itself alive between these two shield batteries and try and hold off this aggression. Another cannon coming down here now on the low ground as that Stalker just continues to try and fight off the Zerg. Metabolic boost has started up here now for the Zerg player as well. We do see a Robo actually going down the low ground here, just outside the natural Zerg base. So looks like we are going to see some Immortal play coming out here in just a moment. We do manage to pick up that pylon on the low ground there, but of course backup pylon here will keep those cannons powered up. Just kind of help hold back certainly any lings that might come down and try to pick up these, but the roaches of course with their range attacks not going to be phased. The second robo out here now for NACL, so it's going to be a big commitment here to Immortals. Of course no natural has been placed for Salt. He has fully saturated the middle line here, and Juno of course confirming that he has known for a little while there, but nothing is going to be going on. Managed to pull the buildings there on that top ridge, and it does mean that the roaches are going to get a free run on these units here on the low ground, although Observer does come in here now to provide vision for that cannon, and the shield badges here will manually be assigned just to keep that cannon alive at least, so their energy runs out, but the cannon will get picked off finally here, and a few Ravages now morphing up on this high ledge. But a couple of Mortals on the low ground here with these offensive shield batteries to support. Corrosive bars do come down now, just knock the shields off of that pylon. And first Immortal out is out here now for the Zerg player. The Ravages are going to move in, do try and close this out with those Corrosive bars. We'll manage to pick off one of these shield batteries here, but the Immortal just putting back into the protection of that shield. The second Immortal is out here now, and Juno looks like he's going to elect to move across the map instead of trying to engage those two Immortals there, which would make very quick work of those units. Another Immortal on the way here now, two more Immortals on the way out here now, in fact, as those Ravagers start to move across. More Roaches are coming out now, but of course Roaches not really a great counter to Immortals, which will just melt through the armor here of those Roaches there. Slight miss macro on those Immortals, nearly getting surrounded by the drones there, but does manage to pull those back. And meanwhile across the map, Ravagers are going to start going to work on this pylon, and then sneak their way into the main base. These two buildings unpowered here now, but it looks like Salt is not worried about what's going on at home, electing to put all of his focus, and unfortunately the lings there do get us around on one of those immortals. Nice little pick up there from Juno. Not what I should be cheering for him, being an Amazonian, but still was very nicely done. So more and more of these immortals now coming out onto the map here now. 4 immortals already here for Salt. The 5th one just about to pop, and the 6th one well underway there with that chrono boost. And Ravages continue just to pick away at the main here, uncontested. I'm going to come around to the middle round and start to deal with these probes and cut off any further economy for our Protoss player. The Lings once again coming in, getting the surround on all of these immortals and pinning them up against the cliff there. Roaches will come in now and deal with this as well. 1, 2 going down, a 3rd as well. Salt just having to pull that one back as they do once again get the pylon on the high ground and deny that vision. Ravages continuing to pick apart the main base here of Sol. I do wonder if he'd recalled, whether he could have held that off and maintained at least the small amount of economy that he had, but he did elect just to carry on with the aggression there. Unfortunately, I don't think this is going to pay off for our Protoss player here. These Ravages. So War Prism is actually out here now, so there is going to be some opportunity for a bit of immortal juggling, which kind of will kind of reduce the threat of those Lings there getting in the surrounds, and this will actually really help Salt get some value out of these immortals here. Of course, if their shields do start to get too low, they can just be dropped straight back down onto the into the proxy there, although Roaches do manage to get some big hits off on those as they're dropped pretty close to the cliff there. Once again, I'm going to drop these down and try and deal some damage before the Lingers manage to come in and get the surround. Base has gone down here now for NSCL, so his entire hope rests in these 3 nobles here. As he has no minerals left at home and just these units. That shield actually now running out of energy there. He's going to try and drop these into the high ground once again and see if he can close out his opponent here. Although Juno, of course, still with his economy there, looking at 1,000 minerals income. He's just going to continue to macro behind this and just outnumber his opponent here. 15 supply against 81. No opportunity now for NACTL to rebuild at all. And, now with these mutalists out on the map, I think that is game over. Nothing that NACL here can do to defend against these mutas. And actually with 4 more on the way now, that mutant count just going to continue to increase. That single cannon now, unfortunately not going to be able to deal with the mutas on its own. GG is called. So, very well done to CapitalOne there, very well played, and yeah, fantastic series there to watch. Fortunate for Amazon Painforest, my team not to make it through there, but some fantastic gameplay on both sides. That is all I have time for today, guys. So for those that join me live, thank you very much for watching me. For those who are watching the VOD of this afterwards, again, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.